Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed about the different types of the animal tissues. So we have discussed about the epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues and nervous tissues. So I have given you the outline classification of the different animal tissues. Okay, now in today's class we are going to discuss about the epithelial tissues and we will also study in detail about the different types of the epithelial tissues. Okay, so we are going to study about the general characteristics of the epithelial tissues. Okay, now as you know that, as I have told you in the last class also, that epithelial tissues are those tissues which are also called as covering tissues. Okay, covering the whole body. So they cover each and every part of our body. Most of the body parts in our body are covered by the epithelial tissues, whether they are present in our body or they are present on the outer surface. They are all covered by the epithelial tissues. Let us take the example of skin. So skin is a type of epithelial tissue. If we talk about the blood vessels, okay, so blood vessels are covered by epithelial tissue. If we talk about lung alveoli, what is alveoli? Alveoli are balloon shaped structures which help in exchange of gases. They are also made up of epithelial tissues. Okay, if we talk about any part of the body, if we talk about lungs, alveoli, it is also covered by epithelial tissue. If we talk about our heart, the heart is also covered by epithelial tissue. So a single layer of epithelium or a multiple layer of epithelium is present in almost each and every part of the body. It depends from organ to organ whether single layer is present or multiple layer of epithelial cells are present. Okay, so it is basically the covering tissue which is covering each and every part of our body. Okay, now as the tissue is, the cells of this tissue are covering each and every part of the body, so these are present compactly. Okay, so cells are present or arranged compactly without intercellular spaces, without intercellular spaces. Okay, and they provide protection to our body. Okay, so protection is the main role of this epithelial tissues because it is the outermost layer of the cells, and without no intercellular spaces are there, and the cells have in between them the cells have material which joins them. So we can call them as like a cement, like you know that cement is there which joins the bricks. So like that, in between the bricks there is a cement is present. So in between the cells the cementing material is there. So cells contain, or cells contain cementing material in between them. Okay, so cells contain cementing material which keeps the cells together, joins the cells together. Okay, now one more thing is also very important. Now the permeability of the epithelial, permeability of the epithelial. Now what did this mean? Now as we have discussed, permeability means giving permission to move either inside the body or to move out of the body. Now if you talk about lung alveoli, okay, if we talk about lung alveoli, now if I make the diagram of the lung alveoli, the lung alveoli basically allows suppose this is a lung alveoli and this is the blood capillary. So this lung alveoli allow the oxygen to go in and it allows the carbon dioxide to go out. Okay, so only the lungs can allow the oxygen to go in the blood vessels and carbon dioxide to move out of the blood vessels. Our skin cannot do that. Otherwise we can simply take oxygen through our skin and release carbon dioxide through our skin. Okay, so permeability of the epithelium means the epithelium of each and every place is not equally permeable. Some are permeable, some are non permeable. ठीक है नहीं? Okay, so permeability of the epithelium helps the materials to move in and out. Okay, so permeability of the epithelium helps the material to move in and out. So it depends upon the epithelium whether it is permeable or it is non-permeable. If it is permeable, it allows the substances to move in and out. If it is non-permeable like skin, it does not allow the materials to move in and out. Okay, so permeability is very important, and permeability also depends upon the thickness. If it is one layer of cells, it is likely to be permeable. If it is more than one layer of cell, it is not likely to be permeable, and also depends upon the size of the cells. Okay, now one more very important feature about the epithelium. Now, as we know that epithelium is the outermost layer of cells in our body, and whatever tissue is present below the epithelium. Okay, so between epithelium and underlying tissue means the present tissue present below epithelium. So between epithelium and underlying tissue, remember that there is always a non-fibrous layer is there, and that is called as basement membrane, or simply you can see between epithelium and underlying tissue there is a basement membrane, and this membrane is always present. What is the function of this basement membrane? It separates the epithelium from any other tissue. So basically the function of this layer is to separate the epithelium from the underlying tissues. So between anything between the epithelium and any other tissue, basement membrane is present. So these are some of the general characteristics of the epithelial tissue. Now let us see what is given in your NCERT. Okay. Now in your NCERT, the general characteristics are given in this big paragraph, as you can see here. Now let me read it so that you can understand. If you have any doubt, you can ask. The covering or protective tissues in the animal body are epithelial. Okay, so as I have told you, they are the protective tissues because they cover each and every part of our body. So epithelium covers most organs and cavities within the body. It forms a barrier to keep different systems separate, means one system is separated from the other because of the covering of the epithelial. The skin, the lining of the mouth, the lining of the blood vessels, lung alveoli, kidney, tubules, they are all made up of epithelial, different types of epithelial tissues, and they have different functions. So epithelial tissues are tightly packed. I have already told you, compactly packed, and forms a continuous layer, and they have a small amount of cementing material, and they do not have any intercellular space. Okay, and anything entering or leaving the body must cross at least one layer of epithelium. So this also we have discussed. As a result, the permeability of the epithelium or the cells of various epithelia play an important role in exchange of materials between the body and the external environment. So permeability is very important because it allows substances to move in and out, or it does not allow the substances to move in and out of our body. Okay, regardless of the type, all epithelium is separated from underlying tissue by an extracellular fibrous basement membrane. So I told you, so it is separated by extracellular, means it is present outside the cells of the epithelium, and it is fibrous, and this layer is called as basement membrane. Okay, now here if you see, one more thing is given here. Different epithelium or epithelia show differing structure that correlate with their unique functions. Okay, so different epithelia have different functions because of their different structures. So now we are going to study about different types of epithelium. So basically in this part of the chapter we are going to study about different types of epithelium. So we can write the heading types of epithelium. Now epithelium is basically divided on the basis of number of layers of cells. Okay, so on the basis of number of layers of cells, epithelium is divided or classified. Epithelium is divided into two types. Okay, so what are those two types? Simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Okay, simple and compound epithelium. Now what does this simple mean? Simple means it is made up of one layer of cells. One layer of cells. So cells are present, many cells are there, but then cells have only one layer, single layer of cells are there. Okay, and compound epithelium means it is made up of many layer of cells. Okay, so compound epithelium is made up of many layers of cells, and simple epithelium is made up of only one layer of cells. Okay, now let us talk about different types of simple epithelium. Okay, now simple epithelium is basically divided into three categories. Okay, so simple epithelium is again classified into three categories depending upon the shape. So based on the shape, there are three types of simple epithelium. So number one is squamous epithelium, or we can write simple squamous epithelium. So what does squamous means? Squamous is the name given to flat. Okay, so it means it is a flat cells are there. Like if you take coins, coins are flat. Okay, so like the coin, or you can take a 10 rupee note or a 100 rupee note. They are all flat. They are not thick. So they are flat. Okay, so squamous means flat cells are there, and it is simple epithelium. It means that only single layer of flat cells are present. Okay, single layer flat cells which are present in single layer. So this epithelium is very thin. Okay, and helps in exchange of substances. So exchange of substances takes place across squamous epithelium. Okay, and very thin cells are there. Cells are very thin because they are very flat cells are there. Okay, now let us talk about where they are located. Now we can find in many places, but then most common place is in the inner part of the cheek. So they are present in the cheek. Okay, inner layer inner layer of cheek is made up of squamous epithelium. Okay, and what is their function is basically they help in exchange of substances because they are very thin and flat. Okay, now let us talk about the next one, that is the next simple epithelium, and that is uh, cuboidal epithelium. Okay, now cuboidal, what is the shape of the cuboidal epithelium? Cube shaped cells are there. Cube shaped cells are there. So it is made up of single layer of cube shaped cells. Okay, cube means the length and width and height all are same. So that is a cube. Okay, so if you see from the front, you will see only like this. So cube shaped cells are there and they contain the nucleus in the almost in the center. So cube shaped cells and they are simple epithelium, so single layer of cube shaped cells are present and nucleus is present in the center. Nucleus is present in the center and their main function is secretion and or absorption. So they help in secretion of substances or they also help in absorption of substances. Where they are present? They are present. Example is kidney tubules. Kidney tubules. So kidney tubules contain or they are made up of cuboidal epithelium and their main function is having they are having cube shaped cells. Okay, mean their main function is secretion and absorption. Okay, now let us talk about number 3, that is uh, columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. Okay, now as the name is there, column means pillar. So pillar shaped cells are present. Pillar shaped cells are present and they are also single layer. So pillar shaped cells are present and they are also single layer. Pillar shaped means they are elongated cells like this and the nucleus is present at the base. Okay, the nucleus is present at the base. So you can write this point. This is not given in your NCERT. Nucleus is present at the base. Okay, and what is their main function is secretion and absorption. So like cuboidal epithelium, they also help in secretion and absorption. Okay, so they also help in secretion and absorption of substances. Okay, so this is about the columnar epithelium. Okay, now they are present in the places, lot of places are there, like in the our alimentary canal, they are present at various places. Okay, and they are also present in different other places also. Okay, now let us talk about compound epithelium. Now before we go in compound epithelium, now let us discuss about two more epithelium which is given in your book. So number one is ciliated epithelium and the other one is glandular epithelium. Now what is ciliated epithelium? Let us discuss about them. You must be thinking I have not given them in your classification, but then from where they have come. Okay, now let us talk about ciliated epithelium. Now I am making a diagram, you just try to guess which diagram. In the previous page, just now we have discussed about these type of cells. If I ask you what is the name of these cells, you will all say columnar epithelium. So they are columnar epithelium. Okay, now below the columnar epithelium we have a basement membrane. So I will just make basement membrane, we can call this as basement membrane, and below this we have any other tissue. Okay, and this area, this is the free surface. This place is the free surface of the epithelium. Okay, now if I make minute hair-like structures on this epithelia, these hair-like structures are called as cilia. Okay, so if cilia are present on the free surface of the columnar epithelium, so we gave it name as ciliated epithelium. So ciliated epithelium is not a new type of epithelium. It is a modification of ciliated epithelium. It is a modification of columnar or cuboidal epithelium. So columnar or cuboidal epithelium, if they have cilia on their free surface, if I repeat, if columnar or cuboidal epithelium have cilia on their free surface, we can call them as ciliated epithelium. So it is not a new epithelium, it is a modification of columnar or cuboidal epithelium. Now let us talk about glandular epithelium. Okay. Now, if I make a cell, a single layer of cells. Okay, nucleus is there in the center. Now what happens in the center of this layer? These cells move inside. So how they look like? They will look like somewhat like this. Okay, and the other cells will be like this. Okay, the cells I am making here will be like these, and these cells have moved inwards. They have moved inwards, so they will look like a multicellular structure or the structure made up of many cells. Okay, so basically it is made up of single layer of cells. What is the shape of these cells? If I ask, you will say, sir, uh, cuboidal, because they are cube shaped cells. So cuboidal cells are there. But what happens to these cuboidal cells? They fold inwards. So here in this diagram, folding is there inwards. Inward folding is there. I will write inward folding is there. So if there is inward folding, they behave like a multi. It is looking like a multicellular structure. And if this structure is secreting something, it secretes something. Secretion is done by this multicellular looking structure. Then we call this epithelium as glandular epithelium. So basically, glandular epithelium is also not a new type of epithelium. It is a modification of basically cuboidal epithelium or columnar epithelium. So the shape of the cells may be either columnar or maybe cuboidal. Okay, but these cells will fold inwards and form a gland like structure. Okay, and this will be called as a glandular epithelium. So glandular epithelium is also not a new type of epithelium. It is a modification of the simple squamous, not squamous, simple cuboidal or columnar epithelium. Okay, now let us talk about compound epithelium. Okay, so compound epithelium. Now what is compound epithelium? Compound epithelium is made up of more than one layer of cells or many layers of cells. It is made up of more than one layer of cells or many layer of cells. Now, in your book, the example of the compound epithelium is stratified, stratified squamous epithelium. Okay. So what is stratified means? Stratified means present in many layers. Strata, you might have studied about stratosphere, the layer of the atmosphere. Okay, so strata means layer. Okay, so many layers of, basically the meaning of this stratified here is many layers of flat cells are present. Okay, many layers of flat cells, because comos means flat. So many layers of flat cells are present. Example, the best example of this is our skin. Our skin is made up of many layers of flat cells. Okay, and what is the function of the skin? Protection, wear and tear. It protects from wear and tear. Okay, we can get lot of scratches in our skin, but it does not affect our tissues which are present below the skin, so they are protected. So it protects us from wear and tear, it protects us from uh, uh, water, it protects us from harmful chemicals, it protects us from various things like temperature also. So we have got compound epithelium in our body, and the example is squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium. Now let us see what is given here in the book. Now already we have discussed about the general characteristics, and let us discuss the different types of epithelium. Now here if you see, in the cells lining blood vessels or lung, where transportation occurs through a selectively permeable surface. I already told you where exchange of substances takes place. So there is a simple flat type of epithelium is there, simple squamous epithelium. Squamous means scale of skin, scale means flat. Okay, so simple is squamous epithelium cells are extremely thin and flat and forms a delicate means thin. Okay, lining, lining means covering. So lining in bio means equal to covering. Okay, the esophagus, lining of the mouth are all covered by the squamous epithelium. So we have already studied about the squamous epithelium. Now let us talk about the next type is columnar epithelium, where absorption and secretion occur in the inner lining of the intestine. I told you we have tall epithelial cells are there which are present in our alimentary canal, different parts of the alimentary canal. So it is present in the intestine. This columnar meaning pillar like. So you can see pillar shaped cells are there which helps in movement across the epithelial barrier. Okay, in respiratory tract we have epithelial cells also present there, and they have got cilia, and this is called as ciliated columnar epithelium. So already I told you ciliated epithelium is not a new epithelium, it is a modification of the either the cuboidal epithelium or columnar epithelium. So there are hair like structures are there on their free surface, on the outer surface means free surface, and they helps the mucus to move here and there, and helps in movement of the mucus. Okay, mucus is a protective uh, substance which is present in our digestive system as well as in our respiratory system, and it traps the uh, microorganism, bacteria, virus. Okay, then we have cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal means cube shaped cells are there, and they form the lining of the kidney tubules and ducts of salivary glands, where it provide mechanical support, and they also helps in their main function is secretion and absorption. Already I have told you. Okay, so sometime epithelial cells often acquire additional specialization as gland cells which secrete substances at the epithelial surface. Some portion of the epithelium tissue folds inward. I have already told you how it gets folded inwards and forms a multicellular gland, and this type of epithelium is called as glandular epithelium. It is also not a new type of epithelium. It is a modification of either cuboidal or columnar epithelium. Then we have compound epithelium. Okay, this is the last. The skin which protects our body is also made up of squamous epithelium, but this is not present in single layer of cells. Skin epithelia range in many layers to prevent wear and tear. So they are not simple squamous epithelium. They are called as stratified squamous epithelium, and they are basically which type of epithelial? They are compound epithelial. So with this we have completed our epithelial tissues. I hope you have understood this topic. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you, students.